Good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you.
All right. I'll be starting very soon. So, all right, we can see my screen, right? If you can see my screen, please react. Okay. So, in our last class, we talked about Excel functions and formula, and Mr. Moses introduced us to some basic functions and formulas in Excel. So I'll just do you want to say something? I'll just quickly do a recap of that and then we'll move on to others. So for instance, I said in the last class, I said that formulas are just like maths. They are just like maths, the normal maths equation that you know, whereby you do this plus this is equals to, just for instance in here, and I said for formulas, you have formula is like an expression used to calculate values, and formulas you have to, for even functions too in Excel, you have to use your equal sign. Your equal sign is a must. So for instance, we want to calculate here, we can do equals to 72 plus 72, and then we'll press our enter, and then it will give us our value for this maths reading plus the reading score. So we can do that manually by typing out, or we can either do that by referencing the cell. If you do it manually, normally when you do this kind of stuff manually, you're just like, it becomes more tedious for you, because if you should update this value, okay, for instance, now this place is 72. If I should update it now and say I don't want to it to be 72 again, and I put and I make it 82, you see that our value here is still the same. It's still showing us 72 plus 72 equals to this. So that's why it's important for us to reference ourselves rather than typing manually, so that our cells, like our values, our calculated values, can automatically update by itself. So if I want that to happen now, Let me change this back to 72. Escape. I'll change this back to 72. All right. And then I come over here and I reference this cell plus this one, and I click on enter. We can see it's giving us the same value. So now if I change this to 82 and click on enter, we can see that automatically updated itself rather than for us to be doing it manually. And I'm sure Mr. Moses also told us about autofill, whereby when you see the plus sign over here, you just have to double click and all your values are there for you. So since we know the basic is the same thing for multiplication, is the same thing for division. Abigail, please mute yourself. It's the same thing for multiplication, it's the same thing for division. Mr. Moses, please, seems like it's your screen that is pinned. I don't know if they can see my screen.
Okay, I'm not sharing your. I'm not sharing my screen. Your screen is displaying.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's just basically what it is. Sorry. I don't know if my screen is displaying well. All right. I'm going to delete this. And then, okay. So let's move over to our sum function. Our sum functions helps us to add number easily. So we can say equals to, if we want to get the sum of these three scores we have here, we have math score, reading score, and writing score. So if we want to get the sum of the three scores we have here, we can say equals to sum. Excel brings it up for us and we click on it. The first number we want to add is the math score. Then we'll put our comma, because these instructions here, they are basically to guide you. So when you put the first, you have to put your comma, then it tells you the second number you want to impute. You click on that, you put your comma again, shows you that you need to highlight the third number. You click on that, on the third number, and then you close your brackets. I click, sorry, close your brackets, and then you click enter, and automatically our sum is there. We can do it this way, or we can either do equals to sum. We click on this, then we drag it over, and we close our brackets and click enter. And then to autofill, we just double click on this place and our total sum, our total is there for us automatically. So this sum makes it easy for us. It adds number quickly for us. And then moving on to average. To get the average of these numbers, these three numbers, the math score, the reading score, and the writing score, we do equals to average. Click on average. Remember what I said, you can either click on the number individually, you put your comma, click on this one, put your comma, click on this one, put your comma, then close your bracket because that's your last number, and you click on enter, and it gives you this. We can, you can see that our decimal place is too much, but we can reduce that over here under our home tab where you see number. You can reduce your decimal place and you go over here and press decrease, and it keeps on going down so you have nothing. So we can either do it this way that I showed you, F2 G, or the other way that I said, whereby you click on it and let's delete this, and you click on this one and just drag it, and then you click enter, and that's it. Double click to autofill. All right, so to get the maximum score of these three numbers that we are working with, you just have to do equals to max. Click on max, then I'll simply just highlight so it will be faster. Click on max, and then you close your brackets and you click enter. Even with our eyes, we can see that the highest here is 82. The highest score here is 82. That's the reading score. So, but we've already highlighted it with max without having to look manually through everything, because this data is a lot. So we can just simply highlight the highest score and then double click here, and it gives us the value for the others. Then to get the minimum score, the same thing will do over here, equals to mean. Mean is for minimum, max is for maximum. You double click on this and then you come over here, highlight, drag to this point, close your brackets and enter. The minimum score here is 72, as we can see, and then double click to bring it down. So that's basically it for our sum, average, max, and minimum. Is as easy as this. Is not hard. It's just you need to know how to apply it in your large data. I'm going to go through another example so that we'll get very familiar with it. But if you have any question based on what I've just said, you can ask before I move over to the other example. Hello? Can we hear me?
Okay, I feel like they don't have any question to ask. Or do you guys have question to ask? Abigail, Stella, Marcus, and is there any question? Okay, you can continue.
All right. So if there's no question, I'm going to continue. So over here is the same thing. Okay, so sometimes our cell shrinks, and to remedy that, we can just simply click on this place over here, highlight everything, and then we can come over here to adjust it. It's as easy as that. And okay, over here we have some stuff that we're supposed to solve, and we are supposed to find the grand total. Please hold on. We're supposed to find the grand total, the average salary, the highest salary, the lowest salary, and the total number of staff, and the fourth highest salary. Okay. So to find the grand total, I don't know. So I can engage you guys. I don't know who can tell me what I'm supposed to do to find the grand total. Anybody, you can use the chat, or you just raise up your hand to indicate. Can you guys hear me? Hmm.
Okay. I don't know if anyone would like to try. Abigail, can you try? Or Juliet, can you try? Someone should just raise up his hand so that we can move on.
All right, Abigail.
Okay, so I think the grand total should be the sum of
Yes,
so it should
yes.
be sum C2 to, should I go
To
ahead?
yeah, continue.
Okay, so that's the sum of C2 all the way to C17.
You're correct. So we can just come over here, tap on this, then hold and drag down. We can either hold and drag down, or when you click on this, you can just do Control Shift, your down arrow, and it just simply highlights it for you rather than for you to continue dragging, because at times you might have a very large data set and you cannot keep on dragging to the end. So you can just do Control Shift down arrow, and it simply takes it to the ending of the column for you, which makes it very easy. So after we do this, we click on enter, and this is our grand total salary. So to get the average salary, another person can tell me what I need to do to get the average salary. Anyone can try. Okay, let me just do it. So equals to average. No, Stella, that's wrong. Average salary. I didn't say sum. So to get the average salary, you say equals to average. This is the range we want. So Control Shift, like I said, down arrow. You close your brackets and then you click on enter. And this is the average salary for the total salaries we have here. So who can tell me the highest, how to get the highest salary? Anyone?
To get, good evening.
Good evening.
I think to get the highest salary is to do equals to mass C to comma to mass six C17 bracket.
No, if you are doing it that way, you don't have to put comma. Do you understand? It's
Okay.
a column you
Okay.
put. Like for
Okay.
instance, so let's say for instance you can cite, sorry. Let's say for instance you can cite your last roll, and you know your
Oh,
roll number, you know your column number. When you say C2 you use your not comma. Is when you are highlighting them one by one. If you're going from cell to cell, maybe you want to do C2, comma, C3, comma, C4, comma, but that's a very long process. That's why this column just makes it easy for us. So C2 to C17. I'm typing it manually, but it does not have to be so. You can drag down, or you either do Control Shift your down arrow, and it just shows up for you. So we close the brackets and we click on enter, and this is our highest salary. We can also look with our eye to see if it's actually correct. You can see that 850 is actually the highest over here. All right. So for the lowest, who can tell me what we can do for the lowest? If you're not in a space to speak, you can just use the comment section.
In the lowest, we'll still do the same thing we do in maths, but we'll use mini.
Mean, yes, mean.
Mm.
We use the mean. So you come here, we click on this, we drag it down, we close our brackets, and click enter. So we can see that our mean is 100. So to find the total number of staff, I mentioned it yesterday, so I don't know if you people remember. What do we think that we are going to use here, and which column are we supposed to highlight? Anybody can tell me. Oh. I'm waiting to find our total number of staff. Which function do we think that we are supposed to use? Hello.
Did it
Okay.
count?
Yes, exactly. And which column do you think we're supposed to highlight since we're looking for total number of staff?
I think A.
Why are we highlighting A?
That's because that's the column that has the names of
The
people.
names. Thank you very much. Thank you. Exactly. That's why I added more names, because if you say you come here and say, okay, let me highlight the company, it's not correct. What was asked for is the total number of staff. So we say equals to counts. Click on this, and then you come here and drag down. Close our brackets and click enter. Sorry.
So meaning the count is wrong. So Abigail, you have to take note of it. You use the count A.
Sorry, I got distracted. I don't know what happened.
So the count you answered was wrong. So to get the total number of candidates or participants, you use the count A, like the total number of staffs. You use the count
Okay,
A.
not just count. Okay.
Yeah, because of it is being written with a letter or text. That's why you are using the count A. But if it's number, you can use what the count.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses. So just like Mr. Moses said, if it's if it's if you are counting text, you have to use count A, because counter counts both text and numbers. Even if you have a number here, it's going to count it. But if it's just numbers, count is going to work. Like if we use count for this salary now, it's going to work because it's just numbers that we are counting. So over here, to find our fourth highest salary, we are going to use our large. So we are going to follow this one. I didn't talk about it, but it allows us, there's a definition that Excel gives you. They say returns the k number value in a data set. For example, the fifth largest number. That's what large does for us. So we want to know the fourth highest salary. So if we want to know the fourth highest salary, we can do equals to large. Click on this. The array, that's this. This is what we want to know. We highlight it, and then we are looking for the fourth highest, right? So we write 4, and then we close our brackets and click enter. So the fourth highest salary here is $650. Then if we want to know the third lowest salary, we can do equals to small. Look at the definition. Returns the kth smallest value in a data set. For example, the fifth smallest number. So equals to small. We highlight this. So we are looking for the third lowest. Then we write our 3 and we close our brackets and we click on enter. So this is our third lowest salary. If we want to check if this is correct, but I know it's correct, but we can also check just to verify. We can highlight this now and arrange it in ascending order. Remember what I said about this, our quick access toolbar. It has different stuff. So it already has my the sorting this thing here. So I can just easily go to it than to start looking through the ribbons to find where it is at. So when we click on this, it's going to sort it for us. And then we can count manually to see if this is correct. So we can see the fourth highest salary over here, if we're counting from the bottom, is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 650, right? Which is correct. And the third lowest salary is 1, 2, 3 from the top, which is 120. That should show us that Excel gave us the correct answer. So I'm going to undo this. To undo, you can just click on Control Z and it's back to what it was before. All right. Over to our if function. So over here, we want to check, we are going to be doing if function, and if allows us to use a condition to check if something, if a particular data meets a criteria rather than doing it manually. For instance, if we want to check for this score, who passed, we can do if our logical test should be, okay, what should we use now? We can use if 70 is greater than, sorry, or equal to, if sorry, not 70, pardon me. If this highlighted reference cell is greater than or equal to 70, then let's use excellence. If not, we should just use and okay, you guys should notice that as I'm putting this excellence, you have to put your excellence within your hyphen. Mm.
Hello.
Sorry. Oh my god. My network was cut by a call. Sorry about that. So you have to put it inside this. If not, it's going to give you error. And then, okay, if not, it's going to your quotation mark. If not, it's going to be fail. Sorry. All right. Enter. It's excellent for this one. It means a lot of people is going to fail, but is this just an example? Do you understand? Or you want to check for this salary now? Okay, let's say let's say like if we want to check if people that got up to 100K, 100,000 above received a bonus, but people that got less than did not. You can just say if D2 is greater than or equal to 100,000, right? Okay. Then it means that the person received a bonus. We'll close our quotation mark and then comma. If not, no bonus. Close the quotation mark, close our brackets, click enter. So we can see that manually we can see that this person received a bonus, David received a bonus, Michael received a bonus, Robert received a bonus, but the others that are less than 100k did not receive a bonus. So this is how we can use the if function. If function also have other complex parts, but this is the one that we're going to be doing for today.
Hello, Abigail. Can you hear? Can anyone hear our instructor? Hello. Can anyone hear? Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I guess our instructor is having network issue. So let's wait for a minute.
Okay.
No, the class have not ended. The instructor have network issue. That's why. Okay, let us just hold on for a few minutes. So he was trying to explain if statement, and I want you to know that if statement is like a conditional statement. Conditional statement. For example, you want to know a particular event, and you want to check for a particular condition, and also most times if statement is being used for grading system in such a way you can calculate for grade, and also you can calculate for scores. And if statements are normally used to test condition too. Okay, so we should try to understand this concept which our instructor just talked to us about that. And also in in Excel, it's more easier in writing if statement, but coming to the programming aspect in Python or that, it's not easy like that. Unlike Excel, which is not very easy, and um, you can use it easily. Okay, so let us wait for our instructor so that we can move to the next stage. Or if we waited for like 5 minutes and still did not able to log in, we call it a day. Okay, till next week. So let's just wait for 5 minutes and see if, okay, if it will join again. So that we can move on. But if not, we will call it a day. So let's wait. I think the network was really bad today. I find out that Stella, Marcus, we are having some challenges like network. So, and our instructor. So let's wait. Okay. We should end the class. Okay. Next week, Wednesday is a new topic, and we should try to be in class. And also, Marcus. Hello, Marcus. Can you hear me, Marcus?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I want you to know that the cost of this training, we pay little fee for this training. So I want you to be aware of the payment, and